Dr. Ethan Ward's vision blurred as the shuttle shook violently, flames licking the outer hull. The alarm screamed in his ears, but there was no time to panic. He had only one thought: survive. He gripped the console, his knuckles white, as the craft spun out of control. The stars outside twisted into streaks of light. Then everything went black. When he opened his eyes, he was lying on a soft, glowing surface. His body ached from head to toe, and a sharp pain ran across his side. He tried to sit up, but a warm hand gently pressed him back down. The touch was soft, almost soothing, and the pain dulled just enough for him to breathe. "You're safe, now," a voice said. It was calm, melodic, and had a strange lilt he couldn't place. Ethan turned his head, and for the first time he saw her. She was humanoid, but unlike any human he had ever seen. Her skin had a faint pearly shimmer, and her eyes were large, luminous, and almost hypnotic. Her hair fell in soft waves that seemed to float slightly as if weightless. She wore a simple tunic glowing faintly at the edges, and carried a small device that hummed quietly. Where am I?" Ethan croaked, his throat dry. "You are on Kalira," she replied, moving closer. Her voice was soothing, her gaze steady, and kind. "You were hurt. I have healed your body." Ethan tried to speak, but his words caught in his throat. Everything around him looked alive. The walls pulsed gently with light, and soft tendrils of energy stretched across the ceiling, casting shifting shadows. It was beautiful, but alien. The nurse, he didn't know her name yet, worked quickly, examining him with her device. Ethan felt a warmth spread from his wounds as if they were knitting themselves back together. He winced once when the pain flared, but it passed almost instantly. He watched in disbelief as bruises faded and cuts closed. You healed me?" he asked, still in shock. She nodded, her luminous eyes focused on him. "Yes. Your body was in critical condition. Healing is my duty." He wanted to thank her, but words failed him. Instead, he marveled at her skill. He had studied alien physiology in textbooks and theories, but nothing prepared him for actual healing at this level. It was unlike anything human medicine could do. For hours she tended to him, making small adjustments with her tools, whispering soft sounds in her language that he could not understand. Yet, the tone was gentle and reassuring. Finally, she stood back, letting him sit up. Ethan felt lighter, almost as if he could move without effort. "You will need rest," she said, her eyes scanning him carefully. "Your body is recovering faster than usual, but your mind must adjust." "Adjust?" Ethan asked, confusion clouding his voice. "The trauma, the crash. It may affect your thoughts," she said softly. "Sleep now. It will help." He tried to argue, but exhaustion took over. His eyes closed, and the soft hum of the room and her calm presence lulled him into an uneasy but deep sleep. When he awoke, he felt stronger than he expected. The pain was gone, and his wounds had completely vanished. He swung his legs off the bed and stood. Every movement felt precise, controlled, almost enhanced. He tested his arms, flexing, and the muscles felt more responsive. He frowned. Had he been dreaming? The nurse was sitting nearby, observing quietly. She smiled faintly. "You are awake. Good. I feel different," Ethan admitted, still wary. Did you do something else to me?" She shook her head. "No. Only healing. But your body remembers more than injury. It learns. It adapts." Ethan's mind raced. Could this be true? Could his body really adapt faster? He had read theories about alien technology enhancing human physiology, but now he was experiencing it firsthand. "Who are you?" he asked, needing answers. "I am Leora," she said simply, "a nurse of Kalira. I care for those who are injured. That is my duty." Despite her calm tone, something in her gaze unnerved him. She seemed curious, studying him as if he were more than just a patient. Her eyes lingered on his hands, then his face, then his posture. It was not hostile, but it was intense, almost probing. Ethan tried to distract himself. Why help me? I'm human. We are not important here, are we? Leora tilted her head slightly, as if considering the question. You are important in ways you do not yet understand. Healing is not only for you, it is for what you may become. Her words sent a chill down his spine. What did she mean? Ethan felt a mix of awe and unease. On one hand, he owed her his life. On the other, her intentions seemed layered. He explored the medbay, trying to find more clues. The walls were lined with strange devices that pulsed softly. Some looked like scanners. Others emitted a faint hum that vibrated through his bones. One device, small and circular, glowed with shifting colors. Ethan reached out instinctively, but Leora's hand stopped him. That is not for touch, she said gently, her voice firm. It is monitoring, nothing more. Do not worry. Ethan withdrew his hand, but curiosity burned. What exactly was she monitoring? And why? He realized that while she had saved his life, there was more to this alien nurse than met the eye. Night came quickly on Kalira, and Ethan could not sleep despite exhaustion. He lay on the soft glowing bed, staring at the ceiling. Questions swirled. Who was she really? Were humans like him safe here? And what did she mean by, what you may become? As he drifted into restless sleep, he felt a strange sense of anticipation. Something had begun inside him, something that went beyond mere healing, and deep down he sensed that Leora's intentions, though seemingly kind, were far from simple. Outside, the alien world stretched in silence. Stars shimmered in colors he had never seen. And somewhere, in the soft hum of the medbay, Leora watched over him, her eyes holding secrets that Ethan was not yet ready to face. Ethan woke to a soft glow filtering through the medbay. His body felt lighter, stronger, and surprisingly alert. He pushed himself up on the glowing bed, testing his limbs. Every movement was smooth, precise. Even the minor aches from the crash had vanished completely. Leora was already there, moving, gracefully as she adjusted a few instruments. She glanced at him with her calm, luminous eyes. You are awake earlier than usual, she said. Ethan rubbed his forehead. I don't know. I feel different, stronger, faster. She nodded, almost knowingly. Your body adapts faster than most humans. Healing is only the beginning. Your body learns from what it endures. Ethan frowned. Learns? What does that mean? Your body can adjust to better survive, Leora explained softly. It can respond to threats, heal more efficiently, and even improve physical capabilities. He stared at her, unsure if he should feel grateful or alarmed. The nurse's gentle demeanor made it difficult to question her motives, but a part of him couldn't ignore the growing unease. Does it happen to everyone you heal? Ethan asked cautiously. Leora paused, her eyes studying him. Not everyone. Some respond more. She didn't elaborate, leaving him with a gnawing suspicion. Over the next few days, Ethan explored more of the alien ship while recovering. He walked longer distances, tested his reflexes, and was astonished by his own strength. Jumping over small obstacles that should have exhausted him left him feeling light and energetic. Even his mind seemed sharper. He remembered complex calculations and observations from his past research almost instinctively. It was thrilling and terrifying. One day he noticed a group of humans in a nearby chamber. They were moving slowly at first, limping and pale, but after a few minutes their bodies seemed to change. Their posture improved, muscles tightened, and their eyes sparkled with a newfound clarity. Ethan's jaw dropped. They are like me? He asked Leora, who was quietly observing him. Yes, she replied. All who receive proper healing here experience adaptation, some more than others. Ethan's mind raced. Adaptation? For what? Why do you enhance humans? Why me? Leora's eyes softened. It is not my place to explain everything now. Only that your body is capable of more than you realize. You must learn to control it. As the days passed, Ethan noticed subtle changes in himself. His senses sharpened. He could hear distant sounds, feel slight changes in air pressure, and see details that had gone unnoticed before. His reflexes were almost instantaneous, a dropped tool caught mid-fall without thought. His mind worked faster, connecting information in ways he could barely comprehend. He tried to talk to Leora about it, but she remained calm and reassuring. These changes are natural, she said. You are adjusting. Do not fear what you do not yet understand. Despite her words, Ethan's curiosity grew. One afternoon, while exploring the medbay, he found a small pulsating device on a pedestal. It glowed with a gentle blue light and emitted a subtle hum. He reached toward it instinctively, but Leora appeared behind him in a silent step, hand raised. That is not for touch, she said firmly, yet without anger. It is monitoring. It records only what your body does. Do not worry. Ethan hesitated. Monitoring? Of me? Of all who heal here, she answered. It helps us understand adaptation, that is all. He felt a chill. Her tone was calm, but the words felt heavier than she intended. Why would healing require monitoring? And what exactly were they studying? Later, he met one of the other humans more closely. She introduced herself as Maria, another crash survivor. Unlike Ethan, she had been on the ship longer. Her body was leaner, her movements elegant, and her mind unusually focused. I don't remember much about the first days, Maria admitted. But I know this. I feel different now, stronger, smarter. But I also sometimes feel like I'm being watched. Even when no one... Ethan's days on the alien ship passed in a mix of recovery, training, and endless questions. His body had changed. His reflexes were faster, his senses sharper, and even his thoughts seemed clearer, more precise. He could remember complex formulas and alien patterns after only a glance. It was exhilarating and unnerving, but curiosity gnawed at him more each day. Why was Leora so intensely focused on him? And why did she never explain the full purpose of these changes? One afternoon, while the nurse attended to another human patient, Ethan wandered into a corridor he hadn't explored before. The walls here were different. Translucent panels revealed softly glowing machinery. The hum of energy was louder, almost rhythmic, and the air smelled faintly metallic. At the end of the hallway, a door with strange symbols caught his eye. He hesitated, then, driven by curiosity, slid it open. What he saw made him freeze. Inside was a room filled with humans, dozens of them, lying on beds similar to his, connected to delicate alien instruments. Their eyes were closed, but holographic screens hovered above each person, displaying vital signs, neural activity, and strange energy readings. Some figures twitched as the devices interacted with their bodies. Ethan's stomach tightened. Leora appeared silently behind him. You should not be here, she said softly, but without anger. What is this? Ethan asked, his voice trembling. Are they being experimented on? She sighed, a sound that was almost human in its depth. They are being healed. But healing here is more than it appears. Their bodies like yours adapt, their minds like yours learn to respond to the changes. Ethan took a cautious step closer. So, I'm not just healed, I'm a test subject? Leora's eyes softened. You are part of a process, but it is not meant to harm you. Your species has potential that must be awakened. That is why you were brought here. Ethan felt a shiver of disbelief. Humans, all of them, being shaped by an alien species. And yet, as he looked at the figures lying in quiet repose, he saw the same subtle glow in their skin, the same alertness slowly emerging even behind closed eyes. Something was being awakened in them. "Why me?" he asked. "Why not leave humans alone?" Leora stepped closer. "Because your species is unique. You have qualities we cannot replicate: courage, creativity, and a capacity for moral choice. These qualities, combined with controlled adaptation, could make humans a pivotal force in the galaxy." Ethan blinked. His mind raced. The nurse had saved him. She had enhanced him. And yet, she had also chosen him for a purpose far beyond anything he could understand. A mix of fear and fascination surged through him. I don't know if I should feel honored or afraid," he admitted. "You should feel both," Leora said calmly. "It is natural. You are not yet ready to understand everything. But your body and mind will learn to handle it." Despite her soothing words, Ethan could not shake the unease. He had felt the changes in himself, yes, but seeing others in this room confirmed it. He was part of something far larger than healing. Something experimental. Something transformative. That evening, he confided in Maria. She had been on the ship longer than him and seemed to have adapted more fully. Her eyes glimmered with insight as she spoke. "They do more than heal," she said quietly. "They shape you. Every movement, every thought, every breath is observed. I've been here longer, and I can feel it in my body. I'm faster, stronger, smarter. But sometimes I feel like I'm not entirely myself anymore." Ethan's pulse quickened. "You mean, we're losing our humanity?" Maria shook her head. "Not losing, changing, maybe evolving. But it feels strange, like someone else is guiding it." Ethan swallowed hard. That was exactly how he felt. He had benefited, yes, but at what cost? And what was Leora's true intent? Was she a guide, a guardian, or something more manipulative? That night, he could not sleep. He walked through the med bay, touching the smooth surfaces, observing the instruments. He realized that Leora had designed everything to monitor every function: heart rate, brain waves, reflexes, even subtle muscle twitches. Nothing escaped her attention. And yet there was care in her approach. She had saved his life, enhanced his abilities. And yet, he could not deny the growing suspicion. Was he merely a patient, or had he become a subject in an interstellar project beyond his understanding? As he pondered, he noticed subtle patterns in the medbay's energy fields. They pulsed in sync with his own enhanced heartbeat, almost as if the ship recognized him, or maybe even responded to his new abilities. A chill ran through him. Was the ship alive? Or was it Leora's will embedded into every surface and device? Days passed, and Ethan tested his abilities further. He could leap higher, run faster, and analyze situations with uncanny speed. But he also noticed subtle changes in his thoughts, impulses he had never had, reactions that seemed guided. Leora was always nearby, observing, smiling faintly. Every question he asked was answered partially, leaving him to fill in the rest. He realized that while the nurse's healing had saved his life, it had also changed him in ways he could not fully understand. And he understood, with an uneasy certainty that he was only beginning to grasp the depth of her intentions. Ethan knew one thing: he could not ignore the truth forever. If he wanted to control his own body, his own mind, he would need answers. And somehow he would have to confront Leora, without losing the benefits she had given him. As he stood in the softly glowing medbay, watching the alien lights ripple, across the walls, Ethan felt both fear and exhilaration. Something extraordinary was happening inside him. Something that could redefine what it meant to be human. And the question that haunted him most was simple, but terrifying. Was he becoming the master of his new abilities, or was someone else controlling him entirely? Outside, the alien planet Kalira shimmered under its twin moons. Light reflected off distant crystalline mountains, casting long, shifting shadows. Somewhere in the silence, Leora observed her human charge, her expression calm, inscrutable, and filled with secrets Ethan was only beginning to sense. Ethan could no longer ignore the questions burning inside him. Every step he took, every movement he made was under observation. Every enhancement in his body and mind felt like a gift, but also a chain. He had survived the crash, yes, and his body was stronger than ever. But why? And for what purpose? He found Leora in the med bay, adjusting instruments with her usual calm precision. The soft glow of the ship's energy reflected off her hair, giving her an almost ethereal appearance. Ethan took a deep breath. "I need answers," he said firmly. "I've seen the others. I've felt the changes in myself. Tell me, why are you really doing this?" Leora turned to him, her luminous eyes meeting his. There was no anger, no fear, only quiet acceptance. "You are ready," she said simply. "I was waiting for you to ask." Ethan swallowed hard. "Ready? For what?" She gestured toward the hidden monitoring room, and he followed reluctantly. Inside, the soft hum of the instruments pulsed like a heartbeat. Holographic displays hovered above each human subject, showing neural activity, genetic markers, and other data Ethan could barely comprehend. "This is your truth," Leora said softly. "All the humans here are part of a project. A project designed to awaken potential. You, Ethan, have survived not only the crash but the first stage of enhancement. Your species is unique." "Unique? How?" Ethan asked, his voice trembling. "You have qualities no other species possesses," Leora explained. "Courage, creativity, moral judgment. Your ability to adapt to extreme conditions, to innovate under pressure, is unmatched. That is why your species is being observed and guided." Ethan felt a chill. "So, you've been experimenting on humans. That's what this is?" "Not experiments," Leora corrected gently. "Guidance, evolution. Healing alone is not enough. To survive in the galaxy, your kind must be ready for challenges you cannot yet imagine. These enhancements awaken your latent potential." Ethan's mind reeled. Humans, capable of something far beyond ordinary limits? And he was part of it? The weight of it pressed on him, a mixture of fear and awe. "But why me?" he asked. "Why choose me?" Leora stepped closer. "Because you survived. Because your mind is strong, and your body responded to enhancement. You have the potential to lead, to inspire, and to prove that humanity can rise beyond its limitations. That is why you are here." Ethan paced the room, his thoughts in turmoil. He felt grateful for her care, yet uneasy about her control. "And the others?" he asked. "Are they like me?" "Some are farther along. Some are still adapting," she said. "All are capable of transformation. But transformation must be guided. Without it, the results are unpredictable and dangerous." He ran a hand through his hair, struggling to understand. "So, you're helping us become, what, weapons? Superhumans?" Leora shook her head. "Not weapons. Guardians, survivors, leaders. Your kind has the potential to shape the future of the galaxy, but only if you retain your humanity while embracing what you are becoming." Ethan's pulse quickened. He had expected danger, perhaps deception, but not this. Humans had always fought for survival, for progress, and now, an alien species was giving them a chance to evolve, to reach heights beyond imagination. "You saved my life," he said finally, his voice quieter. "And you've changed me, but I don't know if I should trust it or fear it." Leora's expression softened. "Trust yourself, Ethan. That is the first lesson. Power is meaningless without wisdom. Strength is meaningless without morality. Your SP is Cap." Ethan could feel the weight of Leora's words lingering in the air. He had survived the crash, been healed, and now understood that his enhancements were part of a grand project to awaken humanity's potential. But knowing the truth did not make the decision easier. To stay meant embracing transformation, becoming something beyond human. To leave meant returning to a fragile, ordinary life. Days passed, and Leora guided him through intense training. She taught him alien combat techniques, showing movements that combined agility, strategy, and mental focus. Ethan was amazed at how quickly his body adapted. His reflexes were faster than he had ever imagined, his muscles responding with precision. "You are learning quickly," Leora said, observing his movements. "But physical ability is only half of what you must master. Your mind must be just as strong." Ethan nodded. His mind had changed too. He could analyze complex systems almost instantly, predict patterns, and solve problems in ways that would have been impossible before. But with every skill he gained, a small unease grew inside him. He wondered how much of his thinking was truly his own. One afternoon, while sparring with a holographic combat program, Ethan paused. "Leora, if I stay, will I still be human, or will I become something else entirely?" Leora's expression softened. "You will remain human in heart and mind, Ethan, but your body and abilities will evolve. That is the balance you must accept. To gain strength and knowledge without losing yourself is the true challenge." He thought of Maria and the other humans he had seen. They had been healed and enhanced, each in different ways. Some looked almost ordinary, but he sensed the change within them. Their abilities, their minds. Something had shifted. Ethan realized he had a choice, but neither option was simple. If he stayed, he could unlock the full potential of his species, gaining power, knowledge, and insight. But he would also be part of an experiment, guided by beings whose full intentions he did not yet understand. If he left, he would return to Earth, ordinary and vulnerable, but free from alien control. That night, as Kalira's twin moons cast soft light across the ship, Ethan confided in Maria. "I don't know what to do," he admitted. "If we stay, we might become more than human. But if we leave, we might lose everything this ship has given us." Maria looked thoughtful. "I felt the same way when I arrived. But you have to choose for yourself. The ship can guide, enhance, and protect, but it cannot make the decision. That is ours alone." Ethan nodded, appreciating her wisdom. She had been on the ship longer and had learned to adapt while keeping her sense of self. That was what he wanted, to embrace the gifts, without losing humanity. The following days were a test of both body and mind. Leora increased the intensity of their training, introducing complex simulations, alien strategies, and tests of endurance. Ethan's abilities grew faster than he expected. He could analyze threats before they fully appeared, anticipate moves in combat, and react with near-perfect timing. One day, as they trained, a warning signal flashed on a console. Ethan froze. "What is it?" he asked. "Rival factions of our species have detected your presence," Leora explained. "They seek to control or remove subjects like you. You must be prepared." Ethan's heart pounded. He had trained to enhance himself, but this was real danger, unexpected and immediate. Leora's calm demeanor gave him confidence. "We will defend ourselves," she said. The next hours tested every skill he had learned. Aliens from another faction attempted to board the ship. Ethan moved with precision, using agility and tactics he never thought possible. He ducked, dodged, and struck with controlled power, his mind anticipating their actions. Leora guided him, but his instincts were now sharper than any human reflex. After the confrontation, Ethan realized how much he had changed, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. He could strategize, remain calm under pressure, and respond to threats that would have terrified him before. Later, he sat with Leora. "I understand now," he said. "If I stay, I gain strength and knowledge, but I also take responsibility. I can't just be enhanced, I have to control it, or it controls me." She nodded. "Exactly. Transformation is not a gift without discipline. You must master it, or it will master you." Ethan spent the following days reflecting. The choice was still his, but he felt more prepared. He could embrace the training, the enhancements, and the opportunity to unlock human potential, or he could leave, returning to Earth as a survivor but without the abilities that had awakened inside him. Finally, he approached Leora. I choose to stay, for now. I want to learn, to grow, to understand my potential, but I will not let myself lose who I am. I will be in control. Leora's luminous eyes glimmered. Then we begin the final stage. Your body and mind will be pushed further than ever. But remember, Ethan Ward, true strength comes not from power alone, but from choice, courage, and wisdom. As they began the new stage of training, Ethan felt a surge of determination. He was no longer just a human crash survivor. He was part of a project that could redefine humanity's place in the galaxy, and he understood that this was not about becoming a weapon or a tool. It was about proving that humans could rise to challenges beyond any other species. Outside the ship, Kalira's alien landscape stretched under twin moons. The planet was alive with soft energy pulses, reflecting the ship's own power and Ethan's growing abilities. He felt exhilarated and terrified at once, but one thought remained clear in his mind. Whatever the future held, he would face it as a human, enhanced, aware, and ready. And somewhere, in the softly glowing medbay, Leora observed him. Her expression was Ethan stood at the edge of the medbay, feeling the hum of the alien ship under his feet. Every inch of his body and mind had changed. His muscles were stronger, his reflexes sharper, and his senses could detect things he had never noticed before. But beyond that, he felt something deeper, a clarity of purpose, a confidence in his own choices, and a newfound respect for the human spirit. Leora approached, her luminous eyes calm and steady. You have completed the final stage, she said softly. Your body, your mind, your instincts, they are ready. But remember, Ethan Ward, this is only the beginning. How you use your abilities defines your humanity. Ethan nodded. He thought of Earth, of his colleagues, of the millions of humans unaware that their species had the potential to reach heights beyond imagination. He had been given knowledge and power, but it was not the power itself that mattered. It was the responsibility to use it wisely. Am I ready to return? He asked. Yes, Leora replied. The enhancements will remain with you. You will retain your abilities and your understanding, but the choice to guide humanity, to inspire and protect, rests with you. The shuttle that had rescued him weeks ago was repaired and ready. Ethan stepped inside, looking back at the alien ship one last time. Leora stood at the doorway, watching him silently. He understood now that she had been both guardian and mentor, guiding him without forcing him. She had believed in humanity's potential, even when he had doubted it himself. The journey home was quiet. Ethan reflected on the past weeks, the crash, the healing, the strange enhancements, and the intense training. He thought of Maria and the others he had met. They were not just survivors. They were pioneers, the first wave of a new era for humanity. When he returned to Earth, nothing looked different. Cities, forests, oceans, but everything felt different to him. He could see patterns in people's behavior, anticipate reactions, and process information at incredible speed. His body moved with grace and strength, but it was his mind that truly felt transformed. At first, Ethan kept his experiences private, unsure how the world would react to his revelations, but he soon realized that humanity needed more than secrets. It needed hope, courage, and inspiration. He began sharing his knowledge in subtle ways, innovative technologies, advanced strategies for problem-solving, and ways to strengthen the human body and mind. Soon, others noticed the changes in him. He was faster, stronger, more alert, but also calm, thoughtful, and patient. People were drawn to his presence, inspired by his confidence and wisdom. Ethan realized that Leora had been right. Humanity's greatest potential lay not just in strength or skill, but in courage, adaptability, and moral choice. As weeks turned into months, Ethan sought out Maria and the others who had been enhanced. Together they trained, shared knowledge, and prepared for challenges they had only begun to imagine. Humanity, they realized, was standing on the threshold of a new era. They were no longer just survivors of Earth, they were pioneers of the galaxy, capable of facing threats that other species might never endure. One evening, as he looked up at the stars, Ethan felt a presence in his mind, a quiet, guiding thought. He knew it was Leora, watching from afar, ensuring that humanity's first steps into this new age were steady and wise. He smiled, feeling gratitude for the alien nurse who had healed him, enhanced him, and believed in him when he had not believed in himself. The galaxy was vast, full of wonders and dangers beyond human comprehension. But Ethan was ready. Humanity was ready. And he understood with deep certainty that what made humans extraordinary was not just for strength or intellect, but their courage, their creativity, and their ability to choose what was right even when it was proud and full of secrets yet to be revealed. The galaxy would soon know the results of her guidance and humanity's potential.